back. We are back. MSNBC anchor and host of the new podcast, The Best People, Nicolle Wallace. You got a new podcast. It is currently #1 on the Apple charts. It is called, I don't have a graphic or anything here. It's called The Best People.
Which was
Yeah.
Trump's first brand, and
Exactly.
it worked for
all
him.
the best people. I'm only going to have all the best
Right,
people,
right.
okay? And then he thought, oh, these are good people. I should fire them.
Correct,
So,
and go with Matt Gaetz.
okay, first of all, congratulations. It's not easy to get to be the #1
Thank you.
podcast.
Thank you.
Why do you think people go to a podcast so much now instead of like sort of what we think of as standard news?
So I started listening to SmartList during the pandemic, and I never thought of myself
That
as
is definitely not news.
a podcast person. But there's something about listening to something, I think, in your ear when you're running. And I'm a mom. A lot of my mom friends never have time to watch my show. And so I think there is something different about podcasts. And I think after the election, I wanted to do more and be in more places. And I think it's up to us on the pro-democracy side, the Keep America the Country We Love side, to take the actual best people and put them anywhere we can.
Well, we got to go.
Okay.
But before we do, I'm going to ask you a question. We may not even have time for this, but I'm going to ask you a question. It's kind of an unfair question.
Okay.
And you may know what this question is that I've asked this of a couple of people who formerly identified as Republicans. And I want to start off by saying that I fully grant that there can be authoritarians on the right and there can be authoritarians on the left. There's neither political viewpoint has a lock on who might give in to an authoritarian strongman. We've seen it, different things all over the world throughout history. Why do you think in America, your former party, the Republican Party, beat the Democrats to that eventuality? Why would you think they were the first party that actually went ahead and threw everything out the window in order to serve a strongman?
It's the most heartbreaking thing about it, because this is the party that thought democracy was worth fighting unpopular wars for. I mean, it is the biggest perversion of what the Republicans told themselves they were for 100 years.
I grant you the heartache, but why do you think it happened?
I think it was the most weak. I think it was weak at the core. And I think it was the most drawn to Trump's toxicity. I think it never found a moment, despite the fact that there were hundreds of off-ramps, to say, no, this isn't who we are. And
so the Republican Party itself might have been weakened or felt themselves to be weakened after Obama, and then they glommed onto something that seemed powerful, which is Trump's popularity with the people, and they just stayed on that horse, or that they rode that tiger thinking it wouldn't eat their souls.
I think that's right, but I think it was weakened even after, to be honest, the 2 Bush terms. I think the party had to be reimagined, and I think they had to examine
the unpopularity of the wars?
The unpopularity of the 8 years. I think it had to be reimagined. I think you had to come out with new ideas. I think the base of the Republican Party was turning on the idea of trade. I think the base of the Republican Party, a lot of the country had turned on the 2 wars, and I think it was up to Republicans that came after the Bush years to reimagine what the party was going to stand for. Instead, Trump came in, and I think at first they were as taken by his celebrity as anyone in the party, and I think they followed their voters in love with someone who was a mirage.
A lot of people say that the Democratic Party is at a very weak moment right now. Do you think they're at danger of an autocrat?
I don't know, and I think that in politics, you're one leader away from a comeback. You know, you're one like Rudy character away from this unlikely hero, and so I think the Democratic Party hasn't rotted. I mean, the Democratic Party hasn't corrupted itself. It hasn't turned on itself in the way that the Republican Party has, and I think the Democratic Party is one leader away from being something fresh and appealing to a majority of voters again. I think the Republican Party is still heading down, 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 following Trump and his authoritarian ways.
I agree.
I'm so glad.
Yes.
You had a skeptical look. Can I ask you a question?
I'm not skeptical, just the whole thing depresses me.
It is depressing.
Yeah.
So the first round of the best people were people that I do think are the best people, but I knew how to find them. I didn't know how to find you. Would you come talk to us? Would you be one of our best people?
I'm right here. You can come talk to me anytime you want.
Thank you. We'd love to.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nicolle, thank you so much.
Thank you.
New episodes of The Best People are out Mondays, wherever you get your podcast. Nicolle Wallace, everybody. We'll be right back with Cindy Lauper.